Welcome to Chinese History and Mythology. Hello friends, welcome back to Chinese History and Mythology. Last time we talked about how things looked settled in Qi on the surface. Xiaobai had officially taken the throne and became Duke Zhuang of Qi, but the real trouble was still there, because his older brother, Prince Zhou, was still alive and he was in Lu. Not only was Shao Hu with him, there was also a very dangerous man by his side, Guan Yiwu. Lu was quietly supporting Prince Zhou too, for Qidis was like a fuse that could blow up at any time. Bao Shu saw it clearly. He told Duke Zhuang that this was not the time to celebrate. They had just won big at Qianqi, and they needed to use that momentum. So he pushed Duke Zhuang to move the main army to the Lu border. No fighting, just pressure. Forced Lu to make a choice on its own. On the Lu side, Duke Zhuang finally understood what it meant to ignore good advice. With Qi troops right at the border, he chose to give in. Prince Zhou was killed. Shao, who would rather die than accept shame, so he died on the spot for his lord, but Guan Yiwu chose to stay alive. At the key moment, Bo Shuye set things up in secret. Through the mouth of Gongsun Shipeng, he made Lu send Guan Yiwu to Qi alive. It looked like a simple prisoner escort. In reality, it was a carefully designed escape. Guan Yiwu left Lu in a prison cart, nervous the whole way. In the end, he made it out safely and met Bo Shuye at Tangfu, a man who once raised a bow and shot at Duke Zhuang, a man who almost died in a prison cart. Now he was about to walk into the court of Qi. Could Duke Zhuang really let go of hatred? Why did Bo Shuye dare to risk his life and career to guarantee this man? And the true turning point for Qi was about to begin right here. In this episode, we will start from the moment Guan Yiwu enters the court of Qi. Now let us switch scenes and talk about Lu. After Duke Zhuang of Lu won a great victory over Qi, he asked Cao Gui a question. He said, "Why could you win when we beat the drum only once, but Qi beat the drum 3 times? Is there some secret in that?" Cao Gui answered, "War depends mainly on morale. When morale is strong, you win. When morale falls, you lose." He said, beating the drum is meant to lift the soldiers' courage. At the first, drumbeat morale is at its highest. At the second, it drops a little. By the third, it is basically gone. He said, "That is why I did not let us beat the drum right away. I wanted to save up our morale. After Qi beat the drum 3 times, their morale was empty. Then we beat the drum once, and our morale was at its strongest. Using strong morale to strike an enemy with no morale, how could we not win?" Duke Zhuang asked another question. He said, "If Qi had already retreated, why did you stop us from chasing at first, and then later you allowed the chase? What is the key there?" Cao Gui said, "The people of Qi are very tricky. I was afraid they had an ambush, so when they began to retreat, I did not trust it." He said, "Later I got down from the chariot and looked at their wheel tracks. They were messy in every direction, which showed their army was in disorder. Then I got back on the chariot and looked farther out, and I saw their flags were a mess too. That is what it looks like when people are desperate to run for their lives, so only then did I allow the pursuit." Duke Zhuang said, "You really are a military expert," so he made Cao Gui a high officer. He also gave a heavy reward for Shibo because Shibo had recommended talented people. The old commentator with a beard wrote a poem about it. The meaning was that strong Qi pressed the border and the whole court felt fear, but who would have guessed that a man in plain cloth held the key to victory? Do not blame the border for slow good news. The people who eat meat often lack good plans. This was in the spring of the 13th year of King Yuan of Zhou. Qi lost badly and returned home. Duke Zhuang was angry and said, "If our campaign failed, what do we have left to make the other states respect us?" Bao Shuye answered, "Qi and Lu are both big states with thousands of war chariots. We are evenly matched." He said, "In war, strength often comes down to who is the host and who is the guest." He said, "Back at Qian, I was the host, so we beat Lu. Today, at Changzhou, Lu was the host, so we lost to them." He said, "I am willing to follow your order and go borrow troops from Song. If Qi and Song attack together, we will surely win." Duke Zhuang accepted his advice. He sent an envoy to Song with rich gifts and asked Song to send troops. The ruler of Song was Duke Min when Duke Zhuang of Qi was alive. Song and Qi had frequent contact. Now that Xiaobai had taken the throne, Song was already planning to renew ties. So they set the date for the joint campaign as early summer, in the first 10 days of the 6th month. The 2 armies would meet at Langcheng. When early June arrived, Song sent Nangong Changguan as the main commander, with Meng Huo as his deputy, and they marched out. Qi sent Bo Shuya as the main commander, with Zhong Sengju as his deputy, and they led the army as well. The two armies gathered at Langshang. The Qi camp was set in the northeast. The Song camp held the southeast. Duke Zhuang of Lu said Bo Shuya came with anger, and now he also has Song to help him. He said, and Nangong Changguan has strength, like carrying a mountain and lifting a giant tripod. No one in Lu can match him. He said their armies face us and they support each other like horns. How can we resist them? The minister of Prince Yan stepped forward and said, please allow me to drive them back. He said Bo Shuya is on strict guard, and his formation is tight. But Nangong Changguan depends on his own courage and thinks no one can beat him, so his troops are a mess. He said, if we slip out through Yamen and strike by surprise, the Song troops will collapse. And once Song collapses, Qi cannot stay alone. They will have to withdraw. Duke Zhuang said, you are not a match for Changguan. Prince Yan said, I asked to try anyway. Duke Zhuang had no choice and said, fine, I will send people to support you. So Prince Yan prepared more than 100 tiger skins and covered the horses with them. Under the dim moonlight, he led more than 100 men and quietly slipped out through Yamen. They got close to the Song camp, and the Song soldiers had no idea. Prince Yan ordered torches to be lit. In an instant, drums and gongs rang out, and this small Lu force charged forward hard. In the firelight, the soldiers in the Song camp saw what looked like a pack of roaring tigers coming at them. They were terrified and scattered in panic. Nangong Changguan was brave and could fight, but his men had already broken apart, so he could only pull his chariot back. Then Duke Zhuang brought the main Lu force up and joined with Prince Yan. They chased through the night. When they reached Chengku, Nangong Changguan said to Meng Huo, if we do not fight to the death today, we will not get out. Meng Huo answered and rushed out, and he happened to run into Prince Yan. The two started to fight. Nangong Changguan held a long halberd and charged straight at the Lu Rula main force, stabbing anyone he met. Lu soldiers feared his fierce skill, and none of them dared to come close. Duke Zhuang said to his chariot guard, Chuan, Sunsheng, you are famous for great strength. Can you fight Changguan head-on? Chuan Sunsheng also grabbed a great halberd and drove straight at Changguan to clash. Duke Zhuang stood on his chariot and looked out. He saw Chuan Sunsheng could not beat Changguan, so he told his attendants, bring me my Jin Pugu. Jin Pugu was the hardest bow in Lu. They brought the arrows. Duke Zhuang set an arrow on the bow, aimed at Changguan, and shot. The arrow hit Changguan in the right shoulder and went deep into the bone. Changguan tried to pull the arrow out with his hand. At that moment, his grip loosened just a little. Chuan Sunsheng used all his strength and drove his halberd through Changguan's left thigh. Changguan fell. He struggled to rise. Chuan Sunsheng jumped down fast and pinned him with both hands. The soldiers rushed in and tied Changguan up. When Meng Huo saw that the main commander had been captured alive, he abandoned his chariot and ran. Duke Zhuang won a complete victory and announced the withdrawal. Chuan Sunsheng brought Changguan in chains to present him. Even though Changguan's shoulder and leg were wounded, he could still stand and looked like he felt no pain. Duke Zhuang admired his courage and treated him with rich gifts. When Bo Shuya heard that the Song troops had been crushed, he had no choice but to retreat his army. That year, Duke Huan of Qi, Bai, did something very important. He sent the chief officer, Shi Peng, to the Zhou royal court with an official message. He told the Zhou king that he had taken the throne and was now the ruler of Qi. At the same time, he made another request. He wanted to marry into the Zhou royal family. In the next year, the Zhou king agreed to the marriage. The Zhou king asked Duke Zhuang of Lu to act as the main host for the wedding. He married his own daughter to Duke Huan of Qi. Besides the Zhou king daughter, several smaller states also sent their daughters to Qi. Su, Kai, and Wei also. Then Chu Mu explained it step by step. He said, Zhou easily turns into disrespect. Disrespect turns into arrogance. Arrogance means you stop following ritual and rules. And once you stop following the rules, rebellious thoughts can grow. He said, I hope you stay alert. But Duke Min did not take it seriously. He said, I always joke like that with Nangong Changguan. Nothing will happen. After some time passed, it reached the 15th year of King Zhuang of Zhou. King Zhuang suddenly got sick. Not long after, he died. The Crown Prince Hu Qi took the throne. He became the new Zhou king, known as King Shi of Zhou. The Zhou royal court sent a notice of mourning to Song. It announced that the old king had died and the new king had taken the throne. At that time, Duke Min of Song was out at a place called Mengzi with his wives and concubines. They were out having fun and playing games. They made Nangong Changwan throw a halberd as a performance. Nangong Changwan had a special skill. He could throw the halberd very high. When it fell back down, he could press it down firmly with his hand, and he never missed. Duke Min's wives and concubines all wanted to see this, so Duke Min brought Nangong Changwan over. Nangong Changwan followed the order and performed several times. Every time he succeeded, the wives and concubines praised him again and again, but as Duke Min watched, a bit of jealousy rose in his heart, so he had someone bring out gambling tools. He wanted to compete with Nangong Changwan. They used a large golden measuring cup filled with wine. Whoever lost had to drink one full cup. Gambling was something Duke Min was good at. Nangong Changwan lost 5 rounds in a row. He was forced to drink 5 cups of wine. By then he was more than half drunk. Still, he felt it was not fair. He wanted to keep gambling. Duke Min sneered and said, "You are a prisoner. You are the kind of person who always loses, and you still dare to compete with me." When Nangong Changwan heard that, he felt both ashamed and furious. For a moment he could not even speak. Just then a palace attendant came to report. "The Zhou king has sent an envoy with a letter." Duke Min asked and learned the details. It was the message that the old Zhou king had died, and the new Zhou king had taken the throne. Duke Min said, "Now that the Zhou court has a new king, we should send someone right away. We should go to mourn the old king and also offer congratulations." At that moment, Nangong Changwan stepped forward. He asked to go. He said, "I have never been to the Zhou capital. I am willing to serve as envoy and make this trip for Song." When Duke Min heard that, he burst into laughter. He said, "Even if Song had no one left, we would not send a prisoner to be our envoy." Duke Min's wives and concubines also laughed along. Nangong Changwan's face turned red at once. Humiliation was right in front of him. The alcohol was burning in his body, and his emotions snapped. Shame turned into rage in an instant. He cursed Duke Min out loud. He said, "You immoral, foolish ruler. Do you know that even a prisoner can kill?" Duke Min was also provoked. He shouted, "You criminal prisoner, how dare you speak so rudely?" Then he reached out to grab the halberd in Nangong Changwan's hand. He wanted to stab him with it. Nangong Changwan did not fight for the halberd. He grabbed the gambling tools and smashed them at Duke Min. Then he raised his fists and beat him hard. No one expected it. Duke Min was beaten to death right there. Everyone who followed them was terrified. They scattered and ran, but Nangong Changwan's rage did not fade after Duke Min died. He was still boiling with anger. He picked up the halberd and strode toward the main gate of the court. As he reached the gate, he ran into the minister Qiu Mu. Qiu Mu asked him, "Where is our lord?" Nangong Changwan answered, "That foolish ruler was rude. I already killed him." Qiu Mu gave a cold laugh and said, "You are drunk and talking nonsense." Nangong Changwan said, "I am not drunk. Every word is true." As he spoke, he raised his blood-stained hand and showed it to Qiu Mu. When Qiu Mu saw it, he exploded with anger. He cursed loudly. He said, "You traitor who killed your ruler. Heaven and earth will not tolerate you." Then he raised the court tablet he used when meeting the ruler and struck at Nangong Changwan. But Nangong Changwan was unbelievably strong. He threw away the halberd and fought with bare hands. He swung his left hand and knocked the tablet flying. Then he drove his right fist forward with full force. That punch landed right on Qiu Mu's head. Qiu Mu was killed on the spot. His teeth fell onto the ground. Nangong Changwan picked up the teeth and tossed them casually. They sank 3 inches deep into the wooden gate. Qiu Mu was dead. Nangong Changwan picked up the painted halberd again. He walked slowly to the chariot, climbed up, and looked calm, as if nothing had happened. Duke Min of Song had ruled for 10 years, and because of one mocking line, he died under his minister fists. In the chaos of the spring and autumn age, killing a ruler could feel as easy as killing a chicken. It is hard not to sigh when you think about it. Later, the court historians wrote a tribute for Qiu Mu. It was called Praise for Qiu Mu. The main idea went like this. The world was getting worse day by day, and the basic rules of being human were falling apart. Inside the palace, there was no sense of limits. The ruler and his ministers joked with each other as if nothing mattered. The ruler used his mouth to joke, but the minister answered with weapons. Only Qiu Mu stood up. He raised the court tablet used when meeting the ruler and struck the rebel. He did not fear power. He stayed loyal to the end. He shed every drop of blood he had. His death weighed heavier than Mount Tai, and his name shone as bright as the sun and the moon. Right around that time, the Grand Steward of Song, Hua-Du, heard that something had happened in the palace. He drew his sword at once, climbed onto a chariot, and rushed over with troops to punish Nangang Chengwan. As Hua-Du reached the west side of the eastern palace, he ran straight into Nangang Chengwan's chariot. Nangang Chengwan did not say a single word. He swung his halberd and thrust forward in one motion. Hua-Du fell from his chariot at once. Nangang Chengwan struck again with another thrust, and killed Hua-Du on the spot. After that, Nangang Chengwan set up Duke Min's cousin, Prince Yu, and made him the ruler of Song. Then, Nangang Chengwan drove 5 clans out of Song. They were the Dai clan, the Wu clan, the Zhuang clan, the Mu clan, and the Zhuang clan. Those princes scattered and fled for their lives. Some ran to Zhou. Prince Yu Shuo escaped to Bo. Nangang Chengwan said to Prince Yu, "Yu Shuo is a man of virtue and talent, and he is also your younger brother. He has gone to Bo now. In the future, he will be a huge problem. It is better to kill him now, and then you will not have to worry about the other princes either." So Nangang Chengwan sent his own son, Nangang Niu, together with Meng Huo, to lead troops and surround Bo. That winter in the 10th month, Shao Hu led the people of the 5 clans and joined forces with the army of Cao. Together they went to rescue Bo. Inside the city, Prince Yu Shuo persuaded the people of Bo. They opened the city gates and welcomed the outside army in. So the attack came from inside and outside at the same time. Nangang Niu was badly defeated and was killed on the spot. When the Song soldiers saw the situation turn, they all surrendered to Prince Yu Shuo. Meng Huo did not dare return to Song. He fled straight to Wei. At this point, Dai Shu Pai offered Prince Yu Shuo a plan. He said, "We will use the banners of the Song soldiers who surrendered to us. We will pretend to carry a report back. We will say, Nangang Niu has already taken Bo, and he has also captured you. Then we will go back and claim victory." So everyone along the road was fooled. The news traveled all the way back to Song, saying the front lines had won. When Nangang Chengwan heard that, he did not guard against anything at all. Very soon the princes led troops to the walls of the Song capital. They tricked the gate open and rushed straight in. As they charged, they shouted, "We only want the rebel Nangang Chengwan. Nobody else needs to be afraid." Nangang Chengwan panicked at once. He hurried back to court, trying to protect Prince Yu and help him escape. But as soon as he entered the hall, he saw armored soldiers everywhere. Then an inner servant came out and told him, "Prince Yu has already been killed by the troops the princes brought." After Nangang Chengwan heard this, he let out a long sigh. Then he remembered something. Among the states, only Chen and Song had little contact. He planned to flee to Chen, but after only a few steps, he remembered his old mother at home, more than 80 years old. He sighed to himself and said, "Family ties still cannot be thrown away." So he turned back at once. He helped his mother onto a cart. He held the halberd in his left hand and pushed the cart with his right. He charged out through the city gate. Amazingly, not one person dared stop him. From Song to Chen was more than 260 li. Nangang Chengwan pushed the cart as fast as the wind. Within a single day, he reached Chen. That kind of strength is rare in any age. On the other side, after the princes killed Prince Yu, they set up Prince Yu Shuo as the ruler, and he was called Duke Zhuang of Song. They made Dai Shu Pai a high officer. They also chose capable men from the 5 clans to serve as officers of the ruling house. Zhao Shudaxin returned to guard Zhao. After that, Song sent an envoy to Wei, asking Wei to hand over Meng Huo. They also sent an envoy to Chen, asking Chen to seize Nangang Chengwan. At that time, Prince Mu Yi was only 5 years old. He stood beside Duke Zhuang of Song and smiled as he said, "Our ruler worries you might be suspected, so he sent me to become your sworn brother. If you think Chen is too small and want to go to a bigger state, please stay a few more months. I will help prepare chariots and horses for you." When Nangang Chengwan heard this, he cried and said, "If the ruler will shelter me, what more could I ask for?" So the two drank together, swore brotherhood, and called each other brothers. The next day, Nangang Chengwan went to Prince Ji home in person to give thanks. Prince Ji welcomed him warmly again. Halfway through the drinking, Prince Ji had concubines and maidservants take turns urging Nangang Chengwan to drink. Nangang Chengwan became completely drunk and fell onto the mat. Prince Ji immediately called in strong men. They wrapped Nangang Chengwan in rhinoceros hide and tied him tightly with ox tendons. At the same time, they also seized Nangang Chengwan's elderly mother. That very night, they sent them towards Song. Halfway there, Nangang Chengwan sobered up. He struggled with all his strength, but the rhinoceros hide was too tough, and the ox tendons were tied too tight. He could not break free. As they neared the walls of the Song capital, the rhinoceros hide was finally pushed open by his body, and his hands and feet came out, but his torso was still bound. The escort soldiers used heavy mallets to smash his hands and feet. They broke all his tendons and bones. When Duke Zhuang of Song saw him, he ordered that Nangon Changwan and Meng Huo be tied together in the marketplace. In front of everyone, they were chopped into meat paste. He also ordered the cooks to make them into a meat sauce and distribute it to every minister. Duke Zhuang of Song said, "If anyone is not truly loyal to me, let him look at this meat sauce." Nangon Changwan, 80-year-old mother, was also killed. Later, someone wrote a poem about it. The meaning was this: it was a pity that Nangon Changwan had strength that could cover the world, but he only understood the love between mother and son, and did not understand the duty between ruler and minister. In the end, mother and son died together, and regret came too late. This was meant as a warning to rebels in later generations. Now back to Qi. After Duke Zhuang of Qi suffered a painful loss at Changsha and was defeated, he deeply regretted the whole matter of warfare, so he simply handed almost all state affairs over to Guan Yiwu. What he did every day was drink and enjoy himself with women. When someone came to report urgent state business, Duke Zhuang often blocked it with one sentence: "Why are you not going to see Zhang Fu?" Meaning, "Do not ask me. Go ask Guan Yiwu." At this time, there was a boy beside Duke Zhuang named Shu Dao. Shu Dao was very favored by Duke Zhuang. Because men could not freely enter the inner palace, Shu Dao did something extreme in order to get in. He castrated himself. When Duke Zhuang found out, he did not reject him. Instead, he felt even more pity for him, and trusted him even more. From then on, Shu Dao stayed by Duke Zhuang's side every day. In Qi, there was a place called Yangyi. In Yangyi, there was a man known as Wu, and people called him Yang Wu. His style name was Ya Ya. Ya Ya was very calculating. He could ride horses and shoot arrows. He was also especially good at cooking and could make soups and dishes with many different flavors. One day, Wei Ji fell ill. Yi Ya made a 5-flavor soup for her. After Wei Ji drank it, she recovered, so Wei Ji came to like Yi Ya very much. Yi Ya then used tasty food to win over Shu Dao. Shu Dao ate and was pleased, and he recommended Yi Ya to Duke Zhuang. Duke Zhuang summoned Yi Ya and asked him, "Can you cook dishes with all kinds of flavors?" Yi Ya answered, "Yes, I can." At the time, Duke Zhuang was joking. He said, "I have eaten many birds, beasts, insects, and fish. The only thing I have never tasted is human flesh. What does that taste like?" After Yi Ya heard this, he immediately withdrew. By noon at the meal, Yi Ya presented a plate of steamed meat. The meat was tender, like a young lamb. It tasted sweet and fragrant. Duke Zhuang finished the whole plate. Then he asked Yi Ya, "What meat is this? Why is it so delicious?" Yi Ya immediately knelt and answered, "It is human flesh." Duke Zhuang was shocked. He asked at once, "Where did it come from?" Yi Ya answered very plainly, "My son is 3 years old. I have heard that a man loyal to his ruler does not keep his own family for himself. You have never tasted this flavor, so I killed my son and brought it for you to try." After Duke Zhuang heard this, he only said one thing: "Go down." But in his heart, Duke Zhuang felt that Yi Ya was too loyal to him. So instead of fearing him, Duke Zhuang favored Yi Ya even more and trusted him even more. Sometimes Wei Ji would also speak well of Yi Ya in front of Duke Zhuang. From that point on, Shu Dao and Yi Ya began to meddle in many things, both inside and outside the palace. When they acted, they deliberately avoided Guan Yiwu. Later, Shu Dao and Yi Ya said to Duke Zhuang together, "We have heard a saying that when the ruler gives an order, the ministers pass it on. But now when you open your mouth, you say Zhang Fu, and when you close your mouth, you also say Zhang Fu. It makes Qi look like it has no ruler at all." Duke Zhuang heard that and laughed. He said, "Zhang Fu and I are like the thigh and the arm on one body. With a thigh and an arm, the body is complete. With Zhang Fu, I am fulfilled. What do petty people like you understand?" After Shu Dao and Yi Ya heard this, they did not dare say more. Guanzhong governed for 3 years, and Qi quickly became strong. At this time, someone wrote a poem in praise. Its meaning was roughly this: if you doubt someone, then do not use him. If you use him, then do not doubt him. Back then, Zhang Fu alone set Qi in order. If Duke Zhuang could keep trusting him like this, then no matter how many people like Shu Diao and Yang Wu appeared, it would not matter. After finishing Qi, let us talk about Chu. In this period, Chu was at the height of its strength. Chu destroyed Deng. Chu seized Quan. Chu subdued Sui. Chu defeated Yun. Chu also formed an alliance with Zhou. Chu then turned Qi into its dependent state. Among the small states east of the Han River, none dared not bow to Chu. They all had to acknowledge Chu as overlord and present tribute. Only Kai refused to submit. Kai relied on a marriage tie with the ruler of Qi and would not yield to Chu. The states of the Central Plains had also joined together to send troops, but none could defeat Chu. By the time of King Wen of Chu, Zhangzi, Chu had already called itself king for 2 generations. King Wen of Chu had Dou Qi, Kuo Zhang, Dou Babi, Wei Zhang, Dou Lian, and Yu Quan assisting him. King Wen of Chu kept his eyes on the region of Hanyang, and it was clear he wanted to expand into the Central Plains. At this time, the ruler of Kai was Marquis Ai of Kai, Shan Wu. The ruler of Shi was also present. Marquis Ai of Kai and the Marquis of Shi had both married princesses of Chen as their wives. Kai married first, and Shi married later. The Marquis of Shi's wife was of the Gui clan and was called Shi Gui. Shi Gui was extremely beautiful. Once Shi Gui returned to Chen to visit her family. On the way back, she had to pass through Kai. Marquis Ai of Kai said, "My wife's sister has come here. How can I not meet her?" So he sent people to invite Shi Gui into the palace and entertained her warmly. But during the banquet, Marquis Ai of Kai spoke in a teasing way. He showed no proper respect to a guest. Shi Gui was angry and left at once. When she later returned from Chen to Shi, she took a detour and no longer passed through Kai. When the Marquis of Shi heard that Marquis Ai of Kai had meant to flirt with his wife, he hated him deeply. He looked for a chance to take revenge on Kai. The Marquis of Shi sent an envoy to Chu with tribute, and secretly told King Wen of Chu, "Kai relies on the states of the Central Plains and refuses to pay tribute to Chu. If your army pretends to attack our state of Shi, I will pretend to ask Kai for help." Marquis Ai of Kai has courage but no strategy, and he will surely lead troops in person to rescue us. Then your army will be in front and I will be behind. We will strike from both sides and surely capture Marquis Ai of Kai. Once we capture him, Kai will not dare refuse tribute again. King Wen of Chu was delighted and immediately sent troops to attack Shi. The Marquis of Shi at once asked Kai for help. Marquis Ai of Kai fell into the trap exactly. He sent a large army and also led troops himself to rescue Shi. Before the Kai camp could even settle, Chu ambushers rushed out from all directions. Marquis Ai of Kai could not hold them back and hurried to flee toward the city of Shi. But at this moment, the Marquis of Shi closed the city gate and would not let Marquis Ai of Kai enter. So Marquis Ai of Kai had to flee in a great defeat. The Chu army pursued from behind, all the way to Shenyi. There they captured Marquis Ai of Kai. Chu took him back to Shu. The Marquis of Shi rewarded the Chu soldiers and thanked King Wen of Chu. He even escorted King Wen of Chu to the border in person. Only then did Marquis Ai of Kai understand that he had been calculated by the Marquis of Shi. He hated the Marquis of Shi to the bone. After King Wen of Chu returned home, he wanted to kill Marquis Ai of Kai. He even wanted to boil him and use him in sacrifices at the ancestral temple. At this time, Yu Quan stepped out to advise him. Yu Quan said, "In the future you want to attack the Central Plains. If you kill Shan Wu now, all the lords will fear you. It is better to release him. Reconcile instead. That is better." Yu Quan urged him again and again, but King Wen of Chu would not listen. Yu Quan became desperate. With his left hand, he grabbed King Wen's sleeve. With his right hand, he drew a blade and faced the king. "I would rather die together with you than watch you lose the trust of the lords." King Wen of Chu was frightened and said again and again, "I will listen to you." So he released Marquis Ai of Kai. Yu Quan then said to King Wen of Chu, "That you can listen to my words is a blessing for Chu, but for a minister to force a ruler like this is a great crime. I ask you to punish me with the axe and chopping block." King Wen of Chu said, "You are loyal for the state. I do not blame you." But Yu Quan said, "The king may forgive me, but I cannot forgive myself." On the spot, he cut off his own foot with a knife. He shouted loudly, "If any subject is disrespectful to the ruler, let him look at my end." King Wen ordered that the foot be stored in the state treasury, so it would remind him of his own fault in not listening to advice. He also had doctors treat Yu Quan. After Yu Quan healed, he could no longer walk. King Wen then made Yu Quan the chief gatekeeper to manage the city gates, and honored him with the title Taibo, before King Wen of Chu sent Marquis Ai of Kai back. He held a banquet to see him off. During the banquet, there were female performers singing and dancing. Among them was a woman playing the zhang, very beautiful, with graceful manners. King Wen pointed to her and said to Marquis Ai of Kai, "This woman is outstanding in both beauty and skill. Let her pour wine for you." She offered Marquis Ai of Kai a large cup. He drank it. Then she poured another large cup for King Wen and wished him long life. King Wen smiled and asked Marquis Ai of Kai, "Among the women you have seen, is there any peerless beauty?" Marquis Ai of Kai remembered his hatred of the Marquis of Shi for setting him up, and he spoke casually. "In the world, there is no woman who can surpass Shige. She is truly a heavenly woman." King Wen asked, "Where is her beauty?" Marquis Ai of Kai described it in detail. "Her eyes are like autumn water. Her face is like peach blossoms. Her proportions are right. Her movements are elegant. When she walks or stands still, everything fits propriety. Her presence is extraordinary. Among all I have seen, there is no second." King Wen said, "If I could see Lady Shi even once, I would die without regret." Marquis Ai of Kai said, "With your power, it is not hard to see even the wives and concubines of the rulers of Qi and Song. How much more a lady who is within your reach?" King Wen was very pleased and enjoyed himself fully that day. Then Marquis Ai of Kai returned to Kai. After King Wen returned home, he could not stop thinking about Shi Ge. He wanted to possess her. So King Wen came to Shi in the name of inspection. The Marquis of Shi hurried out to welcome him from afar with great respect. He personally arranged King Wen lodging and set a state banquet in the main hall. During the banquet, the Marquis of Shi raised a cup himself and wished King Wen long life. King Wen took the cup and smiled. "In the past, I did something for your lady. Today I have come here. Will the lady not come out and pour me a cup of wine?" The Marquis of Shi feared King Wen and did not dare refuse. He had to agree and sent word into the inner palace. Soon there was the sound of jade pendants. Shai Gui came out, properly dressed. Carpets and cushions had been laid on the ground. Shai Gui bowed to King Wen, and King Wen hurried to return the lei. Shai Gui took a white jade cup and filled it. She held it with both hands. When King Wen saw her hands shining against the white jade cup, he almost fainted. He felt she belonged to heaven and was rarely seen in this world. King Wen wanted to take the cup with his own hands. Shi Gui stayed calm and steady. She passed the cup to a servant. The servant then passed it to King Wen. King Wen drank it in one gulp. Shi Gui bowed again and withdrew to the inner palace. From then on, King Wen's heart held only Shi Gui. Even at the banquet, he could not truly enjoy himself. After the banquet, he returned to his lodging, turning over and over, unable to sleep. The next day, King Wen held a banquet at his own lodging, saying it was to give thanks. But secretly, he had soldiers lying in ambush. The Marquis of Shi came to the banquet. When the wine was halfway through, King Wen pretended to be drunk and said to the Marquis of Shi, "I have done merit for your wife. Today the 3 armies are here. Should the lady not come out to comfort the soldiers?" The Marquis of Shi tried to decline. "Our state is small and cannot meet the king demands. Please consider a small state." King Wen immediately slapped the table and stood up, shouting, "A mere man breaks faith and righteousness and still wants to refuse me with clever words. Men, seize him." The Marquis of Shi tried to argue, but soldiers rushed out from all sides. Wei Zhang and Du Dan stepped forward and bound him on the spot. King Wen then led troops straight to the Shi palace to seize Shi Gui. When Shi Gui heard what happened, she sighed. To lead a wolf into the house was something we brought on ourselves. She turned and ran to the back garden, wanting to throw herself into a well. Do Dan rushed up and grabbed her skirt, stopping her. "Lady, will you not think of the Marquis of Shi life? If you do this, neither of you will live." After hearing that, Shi Gui stopped. Do Dan brought Shi Gui to see King Wen. King Wen spoke many soothing words to her. He promised not to kill the Marquis of Shi and not to destroy the Shi ancestral temple. Then in the army camp, he established Shi Gui as his wife of Shu. Shi Gui's face was like peach blossoms. She was also called Lady Peach Blossom. King Wen confined the Marquis of Shi by the Ru River. He involved him as the head of 10 households and made him guard the Shi ancestral temple. In the end, the Marquis of Shi died in gloom and resentment. At this point, the original text says, "The lawlessness of the king of Chu had reached its peak. What will happen next? How will the story continue? If you want to know what comes after, we will pick it up in the next episode."
The sky in light. healed the broken heart. Fuxi traced the world's design. Every age leaves stories bright. Yaya dynasty shaped bronze. Shang dynasty cast oracle bones. Thou dynasty built right. Qin dynasty forged the great walls. Han dynasty opened Silk Road winds. Three Kingdoms dynasty turned war to tales. Jin dynasty led ink and mountains bloom. Sui dynasty carved the Grand Canal. Tang dynasty crowned the world with art. Song dynasty raised learning's flame. Yun dynasty swept the northern plains. Ming dynasty strengthened walls again. Qing dynasty closed an ancient end. Every age leaves stories bright. History and myth ignite in endless light. China's history moves in mystery through the night. Footsteps of this land enchant the world in light. Han dynasty opens Silk Road winds. Three Kingdoms dynasty turn war to tales. Qin dynasty led ink and mountains bloom. Sui dynasty carved the Grand Canal. Tang dynasty crowned the world with art. Song dynasty raised learning